My name is Dr. Joseph M. Munyua. Today, we are focusing on the importance of research. The primary goal of research is to create new knowledge. Against that backdrop, philosophy holds that the Stoics and the Epicureans agreed with Aristotle that knowledge originates in sense perception, namely empiricism. But against Aristotle, the Stoics and the Epicureans observed that knowledge should be treasured as a practical guide to human life rather than as an end in itself. Indirectly, therefore, the Stoics and the Epicureans show that research new knowledge should not be an end in itself. Ultimately, the said research new knowledge should bring about an upgrading of human life. So research is an academic discipline and a humanistic project. As a humanistic project, research is mainly aimed at the welfare of humanity. In their aforesaid humanistic project, the researchers endeavor to ask the whats, whys, and hows questions of human existence and strive to methodically unearth the appropriate answers to these weighty questions in order to improve the quality of human life. In practice, therefore, research is a systematic undertaking which seeks to ask, to ponder, and to solve the stubborn problems of human existence and the world that houses us towards bringing about an all-round well-being of humans, plants, and animals. For instance, in the context of a failing company, you can carry out research in order to advance your understanding of how things work in such a company. In the end, your research findings and recommendations may facilitate the leadership of such a company to reduce its production cost and the transport costs to market, improve the quality of its products, and therein maximize its profit. Sooner or later, your research may help to bring back the lost glory of such a company. In the end, such research may lead to many people's employment and the growth of a particular national economy. To take another example, today's humanity that is living in the age of information revolution should, through research, seek to know the unknowable things in the said age of information revolution in order to improve its living standards. The resultant new knowledge can help humanity create new means of communication to improve its day-to-day life. Needless to say that the above explanations of the importance of research and the pertinent examples evidence that research is of paramount importance to the lives of human beings. At this point, therefore, let us systematically summarize the said importance of research. Number one, creation of new knowledge. The principal importance of research is to create new knowledge in a particular sphere. In short, research is an activity that enables us to generate new knowledge in a given field of knowledge. Normally, the attained new knowledge is used to improve the quality of human life. For instance, in the early 1980s, the world was confronted with the sudden emergence of the HIV and AIDS epidemic. In response to this epidemic, doctors and scientists worldwide have been researching the vaccine against HIV and the cure for AIDS towards enhancing the quality of human life. Note that in this case, the involved research aims to create new medical knowledge to enhance the quality of human life. To take another example, in the late 2019, the world was confronted with the sudden emergence of the coronavirus disease COVID-19 that in the year 2020 was rapidly spreading to all parts of the world and killing thousands of people, regardless of their political, economic, social, or religious status. This lethal disease brought about the viral world war, which was and still is the global war against the common invisible enemy, that is the deadly coronavirus. In response to this global war, doctors and scientists around the world started their research journey towards developing the right vaccine against the coronavirus disease and the probable actual cure for the same in order to enhance the quality of human life and to save the dying world that was being brought to its knees by the said disease. In this public health disaster, the involved research is geared towards creating new medical knowledge to improve the quality of human life and save the disappearing humanity. All in all, research is the most reliable source of knowledge. Number 2, decision making. Through the creation of new knowledge, researchers enable people to make informed decisions in their places of work, economic projects, running institutions, companies, health facilities, national development, project planning, and so on. Remember that in such spheres of life, good decisions are made when the involved study is varied and reliable. In short, research can enable a certain government, a person, or a particular society to make informed decisions and therein improve the quality of human life. For example, research should facilitate the decisions of policymakers. Indeed, any policymaker who ignores research in a policy-making process is like someone who goes to swim without any swimming skills. Number 3, national development. People can lag behind in terms of their national development because of their lack of reliable researches and the resultant inadequate creation of new knowledge in various spheres of life. Obviously, the creation of new knowledge through research can improve national development and raise living standards in a given society. Certainly, in the area of national development, research should provide the basis for all government policies. For instance, research new knowledge can facilitate the formulation of a certain national budget and shape the related planning processes. Moreover, the said new knowledge can lead to the national prevention and treatment of certain diseases, the national avoidance of deforestation, the national stoppage of water and air pollution, the national correction of taxes, the national equitable division of the available resources, the national fight against teen drug abuse, the national war against terrorism, and so on. Therefore, national development and research should be marched together for the general welfare of humanity. Number 4, describing a phenomenon. Research can be used to correctly describe a given phenomenon in order to, among other things, enhance humanity's quality of life. An accurate identification of any phenomenon calls for a methodical description, for instance, of its size, weight, age, color, height, shape, humanitarian worth, economic use, and so forth. Accordingly, through research, the said ordering description provides the required new knowledge about the involved phenomenon that, as demonstrated hereinafter, becomes a well-founded basis for other purposes of research. In a nutshell, research can be used to show the characteristics of a certain individual, community, situation, event, and so forth towards, among other things, improving the quality of human life. Number 5, prediction. By their very nature, some researches can bring about informed predictions. In this context, prediction means the ability to estimate phenomenon A given phenomenon B. For instance, after carrying out a particular research whose title is Three Main Effects on Drug Abuse in Sofia Village, the resultant research findings can facilitate the involved researcher to predict that if the trend of the injectable drug abuse in Sofia Village will not be interfered with, then by the year 2050, almost half of the population in the said village will be HIV positive. Such a prediction can enable the involved community's leadership to make timely interventions towards preventing the potential problems and solving the already existing problems. Number 6, research can be used to enable the development of theories that can help us improve the quality of human life. In that vein, research can also enable the replacement of the existing theories with the new appropriate theories which can facilitate the development of a given community. For example, until the 1960s, the existing theory of economic development was known as modernization theory. This theory claimed that industrialization, the introduction of mass media, and Western concepts would radically and magically transform traditional economies and communities. This theory held that the aforesaid influences would place poor countries on a good path of development that is similar to that experienced by Western industrialized nations during the Industrial Revolution. However, through research, the dependency theory was born in the 1960s. This theory rejects the main assumptions of modernization theory. To that end, in the 1960s, the proponents of the dependency theory, such as Andre Ganda Frank, argued that former colonial nations were underdeveloped because of their dependence on Western industrialized nations in the spheres of foreign trade and investment. Generally speaking, relying on their respective researches, the researchers who supported dependence theory firmly concluded that instead of benefiting developing nations, the said economic relationships slowed and still slows their development and still undermines their sovereignty. All in all, the dependency theory can be used by the developing nations to initiate self-supporting projects towards their sustainable national development. Thanks for listening. To better your understanding of research, buy and read my ebook, which is titled Basics of Research and Academic Writing, a textbook for research students and lecturers. Thanks.